Nice. Very nice. You might be wondering, what is this guy doing with food up here in the stage, right? First of all, I'm hungry. And the second thing is, I'll have to tell you a story why I am here with this food. So it was maybe 7 to 8 years ago. As a lazy child, I did not know how to cook at all. One day, my brother came from his office and asked me. He was very tired and asked me, "Rastra, can you cook something for me?" And then I was like pretty blank, like, what do I cook? I don't know anything. The only thing I know is to boil water. That is the only thing I knew, and make a very mediocre tea. So what did I do? I went to YouTube, searched how to cook egg curry. And egg curry was the first food that I ever made in my life with the help of YouTube. And thankfully, no one got diarrhea. So I think it all went well. It all went pretty well. What I'm trying to explain with this point is that YouTube has been able to touch our lives in unimaginable way. Like there was already a question, right? How many of you use YouTube daily? Almost every one of us use YouTube daily for one thing or the other, to learn new ideas, to learn how to cook, and also to be a better human. So YouTube teaches us, as a regular person, a lot of things, and me as a content creator, I've been able to learn even more things that not only applies to YouTube in general, but it applies to life as a whole. There are a lot of lessons. We might wonder, how would YouTube be able to, teach us things? But I'll tell you a few of the life lessons that I've learned from YouTube as a creator throughout my journey in 3 to 4 years. First of all, let me keep it. I'll finish it after the program now. So the first lesson that I've learned from YouTube, I'll have to, go back to my undergrad days. So I completed my undergrad in law from India, and I came back to Nepal. And as any undergrad student does, when they come back, I started looking for a job. And during the same period, I also joined my master's in law. So my life that time was pretty busy. I used to get up in the morning, go to class, finish my classes, go to job, and then go back home. And it was the same thing over and over and over and over again. Life was like a chore to me. I had nothing to look forward to when I went back home, something that I could enjoy myself with. That is when I decided to give a try with YouTube. Like, I wanted to try YouTube. I had no idea about any photography, videography, any form of graphy. I had no idea, zero idea. But I still I went. One day I went to New York. I bought a ukulele. Someone's calls it ukulele, anything. And I learned 4 chords. Like anyone who plays music might know. C, G, A minor, and F. These 4 chords, and you can play hundreds of songs every day. So I learned these 4 chords. I started playing ukulele, and then I recorded it and started putting it on YouTube. And this thing gave me a lot of joy. See, I wasn't going to be the next Elvis. I didn't have a great voice. I wasn't going to be the next Petrucci who could play, guitar and ukulele like crazy. What I was doing was, I was doing something that I could enjoy as a whole. And YouTube was giving me that enjoyment. And what did I learn from that is that hobby adds some value to your life. Hobbies are very important. There's a legal philosopher, as a law lecturer, I'll have to tell you, there's a legal philosopher named John Finnis who said that there are 7 basic goods in human life. 7 basic goods. One of the basic goods that we all strive for is play. And for him, play was an act or a performance for the sake of the performance itself. There is no ulterior motive to it. There is no end product to it. You do it because you enjoy it. And YouTube had become exactly that for me. I did it because I enjoyed it. So what I learned, my lesson from YouTube, the beginning of YouTube, before I, joined YouTube properly, was that you need to have a hobby. You need to do things. For example, if you enjoy gaming after going back home for a day, you do it. If you like to play football, play futsal or anything, you go do it. You don't need to be a professional footballer to enjoy it. You can just do it for sake of yourself, for your own amusement and your own enjoyment. Now, moving on to the second lesson. The second lesson I learned from YouTube is there's no perfect beginning to anything. So what does perfect beginning as a whole mean is that when I, finished this ukulele thing, I was done with it. Then I decided to, flex my creative muscle. I didn't know how creative I was, so I just decided to, make a video and post it on YouTube in my current channel, Random Nepali. So when I posted the video, I'll be very honest with you, it was bad. It was very bad. My voice stuttered millions of times. The video editing was very bad, but I still posted it because I wanted to post it. I wanted to try it out. So how is it relevant to life? Is that if I had thought that the video that I made was bad and I did not post it on YouTube, I would not be where I was today when considering overall place in the world, in YouTube world, let's say. Not only that, what I learned extra from this is no one is going to be perfect when they start something. Like when you do something for the first time, no one is going to be perfect. It is how you adapt to it, how you learn from those imperfections and perfect yourself in the future. Not even no one can be perfect, but improve those imperfections for future. That is what matters the most. So if any aspiring YouTuber out here, anyone who wants to make a video, always remember that you will not exactly be able to be perfect for the first time. There will always be some certain flaws, and it is how you overcome those flaws that is important rather than having those flaws itself. This is the second lesson that I have learned from YouTube. Now, third lesson that I have learned from YouTube is to evolve. So this is the lesson that I learned in between. When I was around, when I gained somewhere around 10 to 15,000 subscribers, first 10 to 15,000 subscribers. This is what I learned is that I started getting messages from people saying that your content is getting a bit dull. I'm not enjoying the content as much as I used to earlier. And I always wondered, what was I doing? What do I need to do? Then I realized that if someone does the same thing over and over and over again, the one I said in the first point, life as a chore, if you do something as a routine, it is going to get boring. So as a YouTube content creator, what you need to do is you need to evolve your content as well. If you make a video that was well loved 6 months ago, will not be exactly well loved 6 months down the line. Why? Because your subscribers, the people who follow you as a whole, they have their own experiences. In 6 months' time, they learn new things. They get new interest. They move and evolve as a person. So you as a creator, me as a creator needed to evolve along with my subscribers. And this applies to life. How? How does it apply to life? It applies in the sense that we should always strive, to be better than how we were yesterday. We need to try to gain new experience either by reading books, or as the earlier speaker said, we need to be able to travel, maybe learn new things, learn new experience, and that will automatically transcend into your content, YouTube content, or anywhere you go, even in your career, and you will be a better person and a more interesting person in life. So this is the third lesson that I've learned from YouTube as a YouTube creator. Now, the fourth lesson, it is a very long one and a harsh one that I learned with a lot of difficulty, was that you cannot please everyone. So starting anything is very difficult, right? Like as an entrepreneur, to start a business, it is difficult. So as a YouTuber, to get that first 1,000 subscribers was a huge deal. So when I reached not even 1,000, the first 500 subscribers, I was like very, very, very happy. Like my joy was over the moon. And why was I happy? It was because as a guy who wasn't particularly good at sports or music or anything that is considered entertainment, the cool boys do, right? The things that girls are interested in, I wasn't very good at it. So for the first time in my life, I thought that there are 500 people around Nepal who are interested in the content I'm making, who enjoy the things that I'm doing right now. So I was over the moon, and this love is addictive. When you get all these good, comments, good comments, this dopamine inside your brain, it gets you addicted to it. So when you're used to this overall, love from people, like you want more and more of it. And it continued for first 6 months. After 500 subscribers, till 3,000-4,000 subscribers, I still continued. And then it all changed. the number of dislikes in videos started increasing. I started getting negative comments. I started, people started scolding me as well. Like, I don't know why they used to message me saying a lot of words, which I do not want to say right now, but I was told a lot of words as well. So there used to be, 99 good comments and one bad comment out of all of it. Only one. But I don't know if it happens to all of us, but for me, that one comment hit me right here. There will be 99 people who say good things about you, and you ignore all those. When you get that one bad thing and you start to wonder, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to change to, get this thing away? It was only later, maybe a month or two later, that I realized it is actually a good thing. Why? Because my content, the content that I was making right then was going, to additional mass. It wasn't being targeted to only a small group of people. It was going to a huge mass of people, which meant that there will be people with different perspective about life, which might be completely different from yours. There will be people with completely different upbringing. There will be people who have grown up in a completely different environment, whose thought might not match with yours. So what they are saying might not be, also I forgot to add, there might be some people who are purely assholes. They just want to scold you because they scold you for the heck of it, nothing more than that. So these 4 types of people will always be there when you go and transcend beyond boundaries. Your content transcends a limited number of people. That is when I learned, what do I need to do? I need to, cut off these negative parts. If I am enjoying and if I think what I'm doing is right, then I should make my content and move ahead with it. It applies to not only YouTube, but our general life as well. However, we need to be careful about one thing while doing this. That one thing is that while removing this negative content, right, a lot of times we also tend to, disregard constructive criticism. That would be bad. Constructive criticism should be embraced, whereas this negative part should be, cut off, and you should do your own thing. This is the 4th lesson that I've learned from YouTube as a whole. And the 5th and final lesson is that be original and don't tire yourself out. So the topic might be, tireless striving, but it does not mean you should tire yourself out completely. This is a lesson I learned pretty recently, and coincidentally, one of the first speaker, Mr. Srijan, talked about World Cup. I learned this lesson during the World Cup itself. So, in this era of social media, right? In this area of social media, it's very easy to get lost in these likes, shares, comments, subscriber counts, views. And when you're used to this, good likes, shares, views, and everything, the love that you get from people, as I told you earlier, is addictive. You want more and more of it. It's like drug. You want more and more of it. Like you want the love to continue. But there'll always be time when it goes down. And when it goes down, you crave for it even more. Now, what happens then is that we lose our own originality and we try to strive for the things. At least in my case, what happened was I lost myself and I changed my originality and tried to strive for things that could get the views back, shares back, and comments and all the love back. What it did was, for the short term, I was pretty happy. I got the views back, right? People are subscribing to me like they did earlier. Now, what happened then was, though I was getting views, though I was getting that love from people, I wasn't satisfied myself. Because I wasn't being me. The content I used to be happy making it wasn't making me happy anymore. One of the examples I can provide you regarding World Cup was I got a sponsorship during World Cup 2018 to make, a show out of it. And for that, I had to work, for 15 days continuously. You had to make a video, edit it, post it the same day, do the same thing over and over again. I was pretty happy about the sponsorship because I was getting money to make a content out of it. But then I realized that sort of content is not the content that I was pretty satisfied while making. So those 15 days was like hell to me. I did not enjoy making video at all. And when I posted the 15th video because I wanted to end it all, but as a lawyer, I know I cannot end a contract in between. Otherwise, I'll be liable for it. So for 15 days, when I made the video, I completed the whole task, but what happened was 15th day, I said, I'm done with it. I don't want to see YouTube anymore. I was not enjoying doing anything on YouTube. I tired myself out. That is why what happened, I stopped posting on YouTube for 6 months because I did not want to watch YouTube at all. I stopped watching YouTube altogether. And then after 6 months, what I did was I realized I need to come back to YouTube because at the end of the day, I actually enjoy making videos there. But what I need to do is I'll make only videos that I enjoy making. I'll only make videos that get me satisfied because at the end of the day, my satisfaction, my mental health, and my life is more important than my YouTube career and my reviews. These are the 5 lessons that I've learned from YouTube as a YouTuber, and I would like to thank TEDxMaitighar for having me as a speaker here, and I'm really proud to share my ideas with you. Thank you.